everyone, welcome to today's story, one that highlights the incredible power of faith and the compassion of Jesus. It's a story that not only shows a physical healing but also teaches us the importance of trusting in God, no matter the circumstances. This is the story of how Jesus healed a man with a withered hand, and how that moment changed everything. The story begins on a Sabbath day, in a synagogue, where Jesus was teaching the crowd. As he often did, Jesus was surrounded by many people, some eager to listen, some simply curious, and others with their own agendas. Among the crowd that day was a man with a withered hand. His hand, once whole, had become useless and deformed, leaving him unable to do many things he once could. It was not just a physical disability, but a source of deep shame and exclusion. In a society that valued physical perfection, this man likely felt invisible, rejected, and hopeless. Now, the Pharisees, the religious leaders of the time, were watching closely. They had become increasingly hostile towards Jesus because he had been challenging their traditions, healing on the Sabbath, and preaching a message of love and grace instead of law. They were more concerned with finding fault than with the miracle that could unfold in front of their eyes. Their hearts were hardened, and they were eager to see if Jesus would heal on the Sabbath, something they had deemed unlawful. But Jesus, knowing their thoughts and seeing the man with the withered hand, did something unexpected. He didn't just offer a quiet healing or a private word. Instead, he called the man forward in front of everyone. Imagine the scene, the man, standing there with his hand crippled, suddenly being asked to come forward in front of the crowd. It must have taken great courage to step out into the open, but this was his moment of hope. This was his chance to be healed. Jesus looked around at the Pharisees and the people in the synagogue and asked them a simple yet profound question. Is it lawful on the Sabbath to do good or to do evil, to save life or to kill? The room was silent. The Pharisees refused to answer because they knew the implications of Jesus' question. They couldn't answer without revealing their own lack of compassion or understanding of the Sabbath. Jesus was showing them that the Sabbath was meant to bring life, not condemnation, and that doing good and healing on the Sabbath was exactly what God intended. Jesus then turned to the man with the withered hand and said, "Stretch out your hand." The man must have been filled with disbelief. His hand had been withered for so long that he probably couldn't even imagine it functioning like it once did. But in that moment, with nothing but faith and obedience, he stretched out his hand. And then it happened. As soon as he extended his hand, it was completely restored, as healthy and strong as the other. His hand, which had been withered and useless, was now fully healed. The crowd must have been in awe, and the Pharisees were undoubtedly furious. This was a clear display of the power of Jesus, a healing that could not be denied. But why did Jesus choose to heal this man in such a public way? Why did he challenge the Pharisees and expose their lack of compassion for human suffering? It was because he wanted to make a powerful point. He wanted to show everyone that the true purpose of the Sabbath, and the true purpose of the law, was not to impose restrictions but to bring life, healing, and restoration. This miracle was not just about the physical healing of a man's hand. It was about restoring dignity to a person who had been marginalized, giving hope to a man who had lived in shame and exclusion. It was about showing the world that Jesus came to heal not just the body but the soul as well. For us, the lesson is clear. Jesus is still in the business of healing, not just physically but emotionally and spiritually. He wants to restore us to wholeness, to help us overcome our struggles, our pain, and our brokenness. Just like the man with the withered hand, we all have areas in our lives that need healing. Maybe it's a broken relationship, a wounded heart, or a part of our life that feels useless or hopeless. Jesus is calling us forward today, asking us to step into the open with our own brokenness, trusting that He has the power to heal and restore. The question Jesus asked the Pharisees still rings true today. Is it lawful to do good or evil, to save life or to kill? We are called to do good, to bring life, to help others find healing and hope. And just as Jesus demonstrated, healing is not about following rules, it's about love, compassion, and restoration. So, as you reflect on this story, ask yourself, what part of your life needs healing? Are you willing to step forward in faith and allow Jesus to restore what is broken? Remember, just as He healed the man with the withered hand, He is ready and able to heal you, too. Thank you for joining me today in this powerful story of healing. Let's continue to trust in the power of Jesus to restore our lives, to bring healing to our broken places, and to show us that with Him, nothing is impossible.